All right, so for this demo, what we're going to be learning with, is how to select objects in our image. We're going to create some adjustment layers, and we're going to learn how to really control what those adjustment layers are affecting in our image. It'll all make sense while we go through it. So first thing we're going to do is we're just going to, instead of creating a new document this time, we're just going to open an image. So I went through, I found on Google a photo I wanted to work with. You should find something for you. We're going to hit import. We're going to go to our photos, and then I found this horse wearing a suit. If yours opens like this is what's called camera raw. It just means that we can kind of affect it right now. We're not going to do that. We're just going to go hit and import as a layer. Don't worry about any of those other adjustments. We'll get into that in here, and we'll get into like that whole menu another time. We don't need to do that right now. But I have my photo. Since we told to bring it in as layer, that'll be our background layer, layer 0. And now we have to figure out how to select something in here. Last time when we were working, I told you on the left is all our tools. Well, there's something with these tools where if there's a little arrow on the bottom right-hand side of them, it means that there's hidden tools behind it. That's going to become really useful with selecting. If I click on that one, it shows me all the different selection tools. So what I want to do is I want to do object selection. Photoshop got really smart. I'm going to cancel it, didn't want to do that. So Photoshop got really smart where if I draw a box around my horse, it's going to try to find the object in my photo. And it does a pretty good job. Now what I like to do to see if it's selecting it properly is at the bottom I just hit erase and I see what got deleted or what didn't. Now I notice that like in the legs right here, it erased parts that I don't want erased. I need to deselect that. And then part of the horse's chest right here I need to reselect. So I'm gonna hit undo. I'm gonna zoom in on my image. Remember that's 2 fingers, just spreading them out. And then underneath my selection tools, I'm gonna use quick selection. Now right here on his shoulder, I need to add to that selection. So that's gonna be that top part of the selection tools where it's already blue. And if I draw right here on the selection, you can see my little dancing ants kind of expand out. It adds to that selection. Now down here, I want to deselect that. I don't want the grass selected. I only want the horse. So underneath where it's blue, I'm going to click, and this is going to deselect. So I'm going to draw, and you can see that it starts making the dancing ants select near like the horse's legs. Now if your brush is too big, mine says 30, you can make it smaller, and then the selection will get a little better for you. So maybe I want mine around 10 when it gets close to the legs, so I can refine that. I'm just going to kind of go around the horse, make sure it looks pretty good. Oh, part of his face didn't get selected. So again, I'm going to go to the add to the selection, kind of just outline near his face to make sure that everything is what I want it to look like. Not too worried about those fine hairs on the back. That's totally fine. Everything looks good from here. Cool. So now what I'm going to do, if I want the horse to be in color, but the background to be black and white, I actually need to invert it. So at the bottom, invert means just choose the opposite. So I hit invert, and now everything on the background is selected. Again, I'm just going to hit erase so I can show you, right? So everything in the background is selected. And to make it black and white, we're going to have to add what's called an adjustment layer. So underneath the layer icon that we've been using, not worried about that Apple Pencil. If you're not using a stylus, you don't need it. Fingers work totally fine for this. But click underneath that, and this is our properties menu, and we can hit add clipped adjustment. And because we want black and white, we're just going to click black and white, and it chooses, let's hide that properties and the layer. So it only affects what was selected, right? So our background was selected, so now only the background is black and white. So now let's make the horse a whole different color. So we're going to go back to our layers. I don't want to be on my adjustment layer. I want to be on my actual horse layer. So clicking that, I'm going to go back to object select. Let's hide this so we can see it. Click drag and drop. So then he's in that box. We might have to refine it again. Oops, sorry, wrong. Go back to quick select. I know I need to deselect in between the legs right here. And then on his face, I remember I had to add to that selection. And for demo purposes, I'm going to say, oh, I accidentally added. Let's undo that. Right, so that's not. Demo purposes, totally good. And now we can go back to that properties, add another one. And if we want to change the color, that's a hue. So we're going to go to hue saturation. And I can just slide this hue and we can turn him whatever color we want. So let's do like a purpley pink. Let's up that saturation a little bit. And we can choose the brightness. Oh, it really doesn't want to select anymore. There we go. We can choose the brightness or darkness of it and kind of play around. You know, it's for you to have fun with. But this is really how selections and adjustments work. Now, is this the prettiest thing? No, but it really helps you understand how they work. So go ahead and play around with it. And now I have another demo that we're going to be doing where we're going to use these same concepts, but making it so we can combine two images to make it look better. So once you get the hang of this, you're going to go on to that next video. Good luck. Let me know if you have any questions.